So I got a question on Reddit, which was, if you didn't already own 5 flagpole service businesses and you were just getting started in 2025 with no money, what would you do? And I have a couple of things I want to just add here that would have saved me a lot of heartache and a lot of time and a lot of money. Number one, I would say right off the bat, only start by servicing other businesses, not residential flagpoles. Get into residential flagpoles later on, but for now, start off where the expectation is the client will actually pay you. I can't tell you how many times I've done residential, worked my butt off trying to fix their flagpole and then had them go, wait, it's not free, it's a flag. It can be really disheartening as you just start out. Number two, in terms of actually getting territory and finding customers, instead of trying to find people that want a flagpole or trying to find people that, are actively searching for flagpole service, like, putting up Facebook ads or something, don't do that. Instead, just drive around locally, and every single time you find a business that has either a flagpole with no flag on it or a flagpole that has a super tattered flag on it, go into the business and steal my line. This is what I use every single time. I see a business that has a flagpole, no flag. I walk in and I say, I notice your flagpole hasn't been used in a while. That's it. I notice your flagpole hasn't been used in a while. And then you shut up. Don't say a word. Typically what will happen is they will say, oh yeah, actually, we don't put the flag up in the wintertime because it gets really beat up in the wind. Or they'll say, yeah, actually the flagpole needs to be fixed. I don't know what's wrong with it, but yeah, I know we're aware of it, thank you. Or they'll say, yeah, actually we're trying to have the flagpole removed, right? Anything they say, basically, allows you the opportunity to potentially gain a customer. So if they say to you, yeah, we don't put it up in the winter because the flag gets messed up, what you say is have you tried the Polymax flag, right? Because it's a polyester flag that's slightly more expensive. However, it's going to last about double as long as the nylon, right? Or if they say, yeah, the flagpole needs to be fixed, I'm not sure what's wrong with it, you say, oh, actually, so I'm a flagpole service company, and would you be up for me to just take a quick look and I'll give you a free inspection and give you an idea of what it's going to run you, right? Or you say to them, oh, you're trying to remove the flag. That's great, actually. So my flagpole service business, besides providing flagpoles and flags, we actually remove flagpoles as well. I'm happy to give you a free estimate of what it would run you. I'd say 5 out of 10 of those I will close. So it's going to be one of those 3 things, right? It's going to be either getting them on a new flag, getting them on a service, a free inspection for a service with an estimate, or getting them on an estimate for the removal of the flagpole. And again, I only cover flagpoles over 80 feet, so I probably pass 50 sub 80 feet poles that have tattered flags or need some sort of service or completely are flagless. That I think is kind of the prime opportunity for someone who is just starting out to fill that niche. So if you're currently a college student or if you're currently driving around for work anyway, look, just drop a pin in your phone and figure out where all those businesses are that have flagpoles that don't have flags or have tattered flags, and walk into those businesses and steal my line. And again, just so you understand some basics of just costs, let's say you only wanted to provide flags. Right? So you're literally just going into, let's say, 60 businesses, you close 30 of those 60, and all you want to do is provide flags, all right? If you're doing 80-foot poles, as an example, you're going to be providing a 20 by 38-foot flag, all right? So that flag is going to cost you $600, if you're new in the industry, probably $625 per flag. You charge your customer $950 to $1,000. This is for nylon, not polyester. Polyester is more expensive. You can assume 1 or possibly 2 flags per year for that customer. All right. So if you have 30 customers, you're making $300 a flag. You're shipping it to them via UPS, or you're delivering it because they're close. You're going to be somewhere in the $9,000 to $15,000 profit range. All right. You have no real other overhead expenses, so $9,000 to $15,000. If you add in service, I like to say that a service on an 80-foot pole, because I tend to really focus on US made, really high quality stainless. If I were to go really crappy Chinese made stainless steel thimbles and really crappy, sort of Vietnamese made stainless steel and just garbage, you're looking at about $1,500 a year in service for an 80-foot pole. I run significantly less than that. My service, I actually have everybody on a yearly plan at $329. So the service is $329 just for me to stop by or my service guy to stop by and take a look. But I know my competitors are in the $1,500 range for an 80-foot pole per year. Then you've got the winch repair and replacement. The repair, which is really easy, you just literally take the winch out, dunk it in kerosene for 24 hours, and then re-oil it. That way it gets all the gunk out of it. You're going to oil it with 5W light machine oil, which is like sewing machine oil. That typically, I see people charge like $300 to $500 for a winch repair, which is literally just dumping in kerosene. I don't do that. I just change out the winch. So I just give them a similar aged winch, and I take it home and I just repair it anyway. And the other thing is too, I'd say the big money maker, honestly, is the pole removal. So I'd say for every 30 poles customers that you have, you're going to do 4 pole removals per year. If you're just going and asking people, I see your pole has been used in a while. Pole removal, maybe I charge $1,000 to have a pole removed, no matter what the size is. Sometimes I lose money on that. Sometimes I make money on that. But if I then, assuming I'm not selling the pole, refurbishing it, repowder coating it, and selling it to like the VFW, which I do at cost, if I'm selling it to a normal customer, I'm going to make between $6,000 and $11,000 installing that reused 80-foot pole. So I'm being paid to take the pole, and then I'm also having it installed, making let's average and say $7,000 or $8,000 per pole install. And the money goes up significantly from there. The 150s, which I've never done a refurbished 150, but a lot of times what'll happen is I'll have someone have an 80 and they'll want a 130 or a 150 or even a 250. So I think that I end up with a lot of just sort of free 80-foot poles. And so as a result of that, I'm able to like give them to the VFW at cost and stuff like that. But enough virtue signaling. But I think that, there's definitely, if I were to estimate it, I'd say $1,000 per customer per year for a small business. And that's assuming you're doing some pole replacements. If you're just selling flags, again, $9 to $15,000 for 30 customers. But again, about $1,000 a year for a small business. Now, if you're doing 30-foot poles, it's much, much less per customer, but there's a ton more. So locally speaking, maybe you're only selling $70 or $80 flags, but you're, buying them for $30, you're doubling your money. Same principle. And I'd say also when I had 30 customers only, I was getting about an hour's work per week. So throughout the entire year on 30 customers, I did about 50 hours of work. And that's making UPS labels, doing some basic check-ins on service. And then the big time sucks were like the 3 or 4 days that I actually had to go and watch the pole removed and watch the pole refurbished and put into the new customer's location. I don't go in for any more for those, but those, if you figure to spend 6 hours that day watching that happen, it's 6 hours of work. So again, you can assume $1,000 a customer, and let's say per year, an hour, 10 minutes a customer. So anyway, I hope that's helpful. I know a lot of times people don't really talk about the money and the actual finances of it, so I hope that's somewhat enlightening. Tomorrow, I'm going to actually do the same thing with a laundromat. I'm just going to go into an old laundromat, and I'm going to offer sort of my insight on what I would do, number one, to get it back up and running, and then also how much money I'd actually offer the current owner. Because I've owned a lot of laundromats in my time, and I think it might be helpful to sort of go in and do some valuations. So if that's helpful to you, tomorrow I'm going to make a video, so look out for that. But anyway, thanks for watching, and take care. Bye.